What's up, folks? Ellip here from ksean.com. So as we wrap up this year, 2017, I like to discuss my 5 best plugins, my 5 instrument plugins, that is. So starting at number 5, I like to shout out Serum. Now this is a synth plugin. I love using this thing. This is something I've been pulling out every time I need to use like a lead line or something like that. Something more on the lines of EDM or pop style or even the orchestral music. I'll add Serum in. Impressively, this thing is super easy to use. We are currently looking at the oscillator section, and then you have the effects section here, which is pretty cool. You have all these different things going on and you could turn on and off and make changes if you need to. Here's a matrix section, which also has a great effect on how your synth sound or whatever you're using. And then here's your global section. So this is one of my favorites. So the next instrument I've been using quite a bit in year 2017 is the Synth Master here. This thing is super dope. This is probably, if not maybe, my go-to like almost all the time that I need some type of synth sounds. Again, the massive categories, and you know, you got your bass, effects, guitar, keys, lead, whatever. You got arpeggiator type motion movements and that type of thing. It breaks things down according to type or attributes or even the author. It shows you who the author is. Also, the cool thing about this, I like how you can save favorites. You just right click on it and you can add to your favorites here. So that's really cool. This plugin is there's a lot to it, but the fact that it has a bunch of presets is one of those plug and play type deals, so you don't have to do much playing around with settings. However, it's easy to get in and play around because it's right there in your face. You know, different LFOs, layer 2 effects, you know, it's really cool. I like it. The other thing I like to mention that it is not heavy on your CPU load. SOV Serum is the same situation there. It's not heavy on your CPU at all. Now coming into number 3, the instrument I found myself using quite often happens to be something inside of Kontakt. I would say Kontakt, but that would be cheating because we all know Kontakt is just the player. You can, whatever instrument supports that plugin or that player, you can play it through Kontakt. So I can't say Kontakt, but the instrument that I will point out is Excel by Output.com. Anything by Output.com is fantastic. I must tell you, this is a modern vocal engine, so I find myself using this to add ear candy to my music anytime I need to add voices and things like that. This is pretty dope. I like the minimum filters on the first page, and then you can click between the notes, which will give you more so like pads, things more so in the legato format, if you know what I mean. Here's the loops. The loops is where I hang around. The loops and the slices is where I hang out the most. And if I need to pitch shift something, you know, say I like what I hear, but I want to change the note, you know, I can go here and change the note easily this way, which is pretty cool. So major, minor, and then these effects here, I can change between these different things going on, which is pretty cool. And if I want to go even deeper into this thing, I can also go into where it says engine here, and this is the brain behind this thing, and you can really dive in and really do some sound design, change some of the filters, the parameters, and different things like that. You can turn this on and then you can change the parameters. I love this thing. This is pretty awesome. You can also go into the rhythm and change how it come across. I mean, this thing is just nuts. It's bananas. Even though you have a million great sounds coming in, you can also do, you know, parameter changes. This is crazy. Coming in at number 2 happens to be something you guys see me work with all the time. I mean, if you guys been following me on my channel, you see me work with several of these plugins just throughout my videos. But Omnisphere by Spectrasonics is number 2 on my list. This is something that I use. It would be my number 1, but you're gonna be shocked to hear what my number 1 is. So Omnisphere, you guys already know the enormous amount of presets that come in this thing. This thing is huge in size. This might be a computer hog because all of the samples are individual sound. Pretty much everything was sampled at high rates. This thing is just bananas. It's touch sensitive samples, which means according to how hard you hit the key on your keyboard or on the pad, it reacts differently, if you know what I mean. So for a plugin like this to do stuff like that, sampled based that is, then you have the most realistic sounds or interesting sounds at your fingertips like that. You can layer sounds. You got your A sound and you got your B sound, and then you have effects on top of that. You can go here and add effects in here. I mean, check this out. This is bananas as to what this thing can do. But that's not all. This thing does way more. I'm not going to get into all that because I'm just talking about the 5 best plugins I used in 2017. So I'm going to stop right there. Okay, now coming in at number 1, I feel like I am cheating here because this plugin is like Studio One or Logic Pro, Pro Tools. You know, it's just what I use. So it's not just the 5 hottest or the 5 best plugins that I used in 2017. This has been the hottest plugin that I've been using ever since I began gaining understanding as to how it works. So my number 1 plugin right now for 2017 is Maschine, because this thing does it all. Countless videos in Maschine is crazy. I always use Maschine as a plugin, and that's the reason why it's my number 1, because I can use Maschine as a standalone as well as use it as a plugin within Studio One, which is a DAW that I like to use, by the way, in the linear format. But when I add Maschine to the equation, it takes matters to the next level, because it's pretty much where all of the dope drums are, all of my kits, the different effects I can use. Of course, you guys know it comes with instruments on its own. When it comes to beat making, there are several hardware devices you can buy with it. At the moment, I have the MK3, and next to it is the Maschine Jam right next to it. When they sent me the Maschine Jam, it just makes sense to me. At first, I didn't think I needed, but when I got it, it was like, whoa, okay, production at a whole nother level. Followed by the keyboard behind me, which is the MK2, the Mark II version, the complete control. And this thing is just in addition to the workflow. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Those were my 5 best or my 5 favorite plugins that I've seen myself or noticed I've been using throughout the year 2017. My name is Ellip from ksound.com. Remember, music is art. You an artist, paint your picture.
ksound.com